and sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we are going to go over WrestleMania in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, before we do, first things first, I want to remind everyone, folks, the Main Event Network, this was the biggest wrestling weekend of the year, and the Main Event Network did not disappoint. We pumped out so much work on everything we did. Yours truly went out of his way to go and be on not one, but two Main Event mixers over the weekend to talk about this show. And, man, we did a lot. We are putting out so much work, so much content on the Main Event Network. Cannot express enough. Go check the network out, please. Look for the Main Event Network link in the description tab. Don't be afraid to look for the Main Event Network on the socials as well. Main Event _net out there on the Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We also have a link in the description tab for our Discord channel where you can go on there, hop on, and talk with all of us at any point in time. Me, the Wrestling Junkies, the BWO Blog World Order, the On the Mark podcast crew, as well as everyone else, any point in time. No problems. We also have a link on there for our Twitch channel because, well, everyone's got a Twitch nowadays, and who doesn't love watching people play games, right? So, now that we got that out the way, I want to remind everyone also coming up in May, we are going to be doing our 24-hour stream once again on Memorial Day weekend. Stay tuned to the socials on that for more info as we get closer to it. And we want to remind everyone how we pay these funny little gimmicks called bills. So let me remind you that we are WWE Shop affiliates. What that means is if you are watching this video, you scan that QR code right there on the screen, or you can click the link in the description tab. It takes you to WWE Shop. You go on there, make a purchase for whatever item your heart desires, and we here at the Vicious Studios receive a small nominal commission based on said purchase, which does help improve the show for you guys. Now, also want to reiterate to you folks that we are also affiliates with the Skull Shaver. It is hands down the greatest tool in my grooming kit. I use this sucker all the time, and yes, I am bald. Bald is beautiful, and I make sure I stay that way thanks to the Skull Shaver. Sleek ergonomic design slides right in between my fingers. Rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Pop that sucker on. 60 to 90 seconds. That's all it takes. 60 to 90 seconds going across my big old head, and it gets that sucker clean just like that. Now the blade comes off easy. Cleanup is a breeze. And folks, here's the kicker. Here's the main sell point that got me, that made me want to go and look at them and say, shut up and take my money. Blade replacement. Now, if you go to a drugstore, you're going to go and pay $3-5 for a bag of 100 plastic gimmicky little razors. It's going to slice you up something wicked and you're going to look like you came out of a death match, right? Now with the Pitbull Skull Shaver. See, with the Pitbull Skull Shaver, nice, clean, no shaving cuts, no nicks, and blade replacements roughly about every 6 months. Roughly every 6 months. So let's think about that. It's April right now. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. You wouldn't need to replace your blade until Halloween. Really? That right there is a steal in and of itself. Cannot stress enough, check the link in our tab for the Skull Shaver. And folks, don't be fooled by the name. Just because they say Skull Shaver, it doesn't just work for the skull. No, no, no. You can use that. You got unsightly, unwanted, ugly, grandpa-looking shoulder hair. Boom, you can use it to get rid of that, no problem. You got nasty chest hair you want to get rid of. Boom, you can use it to get rid of that. And it is getting warmer after all. And if you want to look your absolute best in your swimwear, oh yeah, it can work for that. Make sure you check out the link in the tab for the Skull Shaver, not just for a shaver itself, but also for the accessories that do come with it. We here do receive a small nominal commission based on the purchase for that as well. Also, folks, the OG way to help support the show outside of telephone, telegram, tell your friends to go and watch Vicious Rants is none other than whatamaneuver.net, where for some Vicious Rants apparel. I cannot stress enough how great this is. I absolutely love these shirts. We got t-shirts, we got tanks, we got women's tees, we got toddler tees, we got baby onesies, folks. We got the whole family covered. These things are super soft. I absolutely love it. Oh God, these things are so soft. I wear mine as much as humanly possible. And with it being warmer out, I wear this tank almost religiously, not just to be a shameless self-promoter, no. But because it is so comfortable, so versatile to wear, it's just that good of a shirt to have on. Now, it is the absolute perfect gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or if you just want to go and purchase a shirt to go and give to a charity so that way you can hold on to a particular one for yourself. Who am I to argue? Whatamaneuver.net, search for Vicious Rants on there. You will not be disappointed. So now that we're done going over all those pleasantries, let's get into the show. Apologize in advance that this show is going to go longer than we normally do for Vicious Rants. And we are kicking off night one with the Usos. Well, before we get into that, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm sorry, Wade, but no, we have to address this. Night one sucked. I don't know how else to put it. I'm sorry. I try to be the positive guy. I do. I try to be positive. I try to look for the good in it. But the only good that I saw really was there was wrestling that made me want to sit my butt down and watch. The bad was pretty much everything else with it. It was just, the matches were super short. Everything felt rush. And, oh God. After every match was a commercial ad. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I am not paying top dollar so that way I can go and sit through a pay-per-view that has, if not more ads, if not as many commercial ads, than what's on regular freaking cable. Somebody, please, in WWE, if you are seeing this, please, I get you're in the cash grab era right now. You're in the cash grab streaming era. We want to get as many advertisers to go and invest into us as possible. I get that. But please, do not sacrifice the product for ad revenue. I am just asking that in the nicest way possible. Now that I've gone over that, let's talk about the opening match. It was on ESPN. The Usos and the megastar, whose name everybody's saying it is L.A. Knight. Yeah, dummy. Yeah, let me talk to you. Going up against the Vision, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Ishowspeed. Either way, As far as the match went, the babyfaces, they were leading with Speed pretty much being kept in their corner at the start. It was just really quick. Surprisingly, there was no punching bag in this match. Like, no one was the team punching bag. They hot potatoed it though. Like, it was almost like, okay, now we're going to have you be it for a minute. Now we're going to have you be it for a minute. And now we're going to have you be it for a minute. And now you be it for a minute. But it was just, again, too quick. Ultimately, LA Knight got the win. He threw Theory into Speed and then wound up hitting him with a BFT for the 1-2-3. After the match, Theory and Logan Paul went to go and do a beatdown on Ishowspeed. And then Usos and Knight, they came in, evened odds, laid Logan Paul out on the table. Ishowspeed climbed up to the turnbuckle, climbed up on the ring post, jumped off and landed on the announce table. Oh my God! What a way to help put eyeballs on the product for the fan while it's on free cable. Okay. Next up, we had Jacob Fatu going against Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. Unsanctioned, no disqualification, street fight, no holds bar, however you want to slice it. It's all the same match when it's cut down to the nitty gritty. And this felt like a very, very rushed match. This felt like a very rushed no DQ match. And I was not a fan of that. You know, you need at least a good 15, 25 minutes for a no DQ to make it tell a good story. This did not have that. And now, Jacob, he was unloading at the start with Drew, then picking up the lead. I mean, there was solid fighting, but it was just so rush. It was just, ugh. Now, the match came to an end when Jacob wound up slamming a toolbox into Drew McIntyre's head and then hit him with the moonsault for the 1-2-3, or hit him with the moonsault through the table, which, by the way, that table spot brought to you by Slim Jim. Again, sponsorship spot, right? Going for the 1-2-3. Now that we're on the show that's on ESPN Premium or Netflix internationally or Netflix domesticated if you're using if you're using a... Wait, seriously? We're censoring me going over that? That's orders from higher up. So apparently, I'm gonna full disclosure. I am legally not allowed to mention that you could stream it by. Yeah, I forgot they just censored me on that. Sorry. Orders from the bosses at the Main Event Network. Either way, first matchup on the main show, it was Little Miss Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, which, by the way, Alexa Bliss coming out with that moth outfit as a tribute to Brie. Oh, chef's kiss, beautiful. Going against Lyra and Bayley and Lash and Nia, who, okay, I get Lash and Nia came out with their gear dressed, doing a tribute to Demolition, who went into the Hall of Fame. All well and good. However, the comic book nerd in me, I couldn't help but I saw it and all I could think is, they look like Talons from the Court of Owls in the Batman comics. I get it. I get what they were going, but that was the first thing my mind went to, and I couldn't help it. My brain sees things weird. Either way, going against what was supposed to be the Bella Twins. However, Nikki wound up messing up her ankle. She couldn't make it, so they called in a ringer, and making her return is Paige. Now, the thing about this that drove a wild hair up me sideways, and I mentioned it on the Main Event Mixer, Day 2 Mixer, which you can check out on the Main Event Network's YouTube page. Michael Cole said specifically on commentary, nobody could predict that Paige would return to WrestleMania. Oh, except for, a particular wrestling dirt sheet who I will not name. Let's just say Meme Insider. Wound up saying that she re-signed with WWE a few days before WrestleMania. So yeah. Thanks for the spoiler, guys. Dicks. And I get it. I get it. Dirt sheet writers want to get the exclusives. They want to, just like any other kind of reporters, they want the exclusive. They want the story. They want the breaking news. But at what cost? You take away from the excitement of surprise with that. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of spoilers. I'm not. Never have been, never will be. Now, either way, as far as this match went, there was a lot of full frontal mayhem. Everyone going ballistic on each other every which way possible. Paige wound up getting the big pop when she finally got tagged in. Huge, big, epic stare down between her and Charlotte. Like, ooh, are we going to get this back again? We circling back to this? Ooh. Yeah. If it happens, great. If not, okay, just as great. And my views on Paige have changed drastically, easy for me to say, simply because of the way you carry yourself after you leave a job really tells me a lot about you. If you're employed at a place for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, and then you go and once you're out there, you're like, yeah, screw you, yeah, F you, eat this, blah, blah, blah. This place sucked. It was a shithole. And then, nonstop, it's just like, you're going to say that about that. You're going to talk bad about that place that you're used to work at. What's to say you're not going to do that with me? It means a lot to me. That tells me a lot about a person when they do that. Just, nah. So, yeah. Either way, Paige wound up getting a big pop when she got the tag in. Match came to an end when Paige wound up countering the Bliss's Twisted Bliss, and then wound up hitting a rampage for the 1, 2, 3. So your winners and new Women's World Tag Team Champions, Brie Bella and Paige. Yeah, that sounds just as awkward as you'd think. Next up, we have Becky Lynch going up against AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It was a solid start. Becky, she was real aggressive. And really like the fact that they're still continuing the whole story with the ref, Jessica Carr. Becky having issues with her and all that on it. It's the little details that mean a lot to me with that. And that's one of them. And I thought it was good. Match came to an end when Becky slammed AJ into the corner that had an exposed turnbuckle that she yanked off and exposed earlier. And then after she slammed her into it, scooped her up for a manhandle slam for the 1, the 2, the 3. So your winner and new Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. And not only that, on that note, AJ Lee is no longer undefeated at WrestleMania. So, Becky Lynch is now the one behind the 1 in 1 and 1. Just throwing that out there. Next up, we had Gunther going up against Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin' damn it. And this, I gotta say, was hands down probably the best match of the night on night one. Yeah, no doubt. So, Gunther, Seth, excuse me, right at the start, going for Seth right before the bell rings. Gunther, he is leading at the start with Seth building up a comeback, something wicked. You know, when he built up his comeback, it was almost berserker-like. It was just like, wow. Wow, that's good. I really like that. Wow. Wow. And I thought it was decent, but either way, it was good. Damn good match. Like I said, this was probably this was the best match on the night, but again, everything felt so rushed. Match came to an end when, just as Seth was about to go and finish Gunther off, or not finish him off, I'm sorry, going on his berserker comeback, as the ref is distracted, tending to Gunther, making sure he's good. We get a surprise return from Braun Breaker out of nowhere. The big bad booty nephew himself comes around, goes, boom! Spears Seth, takes him out, gets him, tosses him into the ring. Next thing you know, Gunther goes in, locks in a sleeper, and Seth passes out. Now, the following night on Raw, Braun, he gets on the mic. He says that I came back to make sure to take out Seth, and nothing's going to get in my way. Next thing you know, Seth does a sneak attack, slams a chair on the back of Braun Breaker, rips his head up, something wicked, like the back of his head looked like it, circling back to earlier in the show, like he used one of them big old bags of plastic razors, which you wouldn't have to worry about if you used a skull shaver. Just shameless self-promotion. Either way, Seth wound up doing that, then started fighting all of the Vision, and eventually started to lead to a 3-on-1 beatdown, and then Seth got saved by the Street Profits, who wound up making their return, and then as the Profits went after Theory and Logan Paul, then Seth and Braun, them two started going at each other. Braun took him down. If I had to guess, maybe a match going in at Backlash. Short term, long term, stretch the story out to have a climax at SummerSlam. So, now we have Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer in a women's match, and folks, this was hands down the shortest women's match in WrestleMania history. I'm not even joking. Like, honestly, Liv, she was leading at the start. There was a good solid pacing, but it was just really, really short. And I'm gonna say this. Some of y'all seriously need to chill the hell out with some of the stuff y'all are saying about with the girls out there. Because I swear to God, if I hear one more person talk about, the outfit Roxanne wore on night one at Mania. Dude, I swear, if I could reach through a phone and punch somebody, trust me, I would. Just let it go, guys. Go outside. Go interact with people. Go. After you're done watching this, of course. Then go. Either way, Liv wound up getting the win with an Oblivion for the 1-2-3. Surprisingly, after that, on Raw, she was doing her celebration. We then see the Monday Night Raw debut of Sol Ruca. She comes out. It leads to an impromptu match between Sol and Liv. Liv winds up getting the win there. And then as she's leaving, she comes across Steph, and they have an epic stare down. So, again, Backlash, ? So now we come to main event match of night one. Randy, by God, Orton going up against Cody, Riley, Russell, Reynolds, the 23rd, baby. Oh, that's right. The son of the plumber, if you will. The American nightmare, baby. The son of the American dream. Now, right at the start, McAfee wound up attacking Cody right before the bell. And then there was a bit of a fight. At one point, Jelly Roll came out and then chokeslammed McAfee to take him out. So, and that's, excuse me. And that right there is the beginning and end of the Jelly Roll and the Jelly Roll involvement. Good. We'll talk more about Pat McAfee in a minute, but as far as this match went, after that, they had a really good tie-up at the start, and I don't know about anyone else, but I always judge on how good of a match is going to look by on how tight and snug a tie-up is. I like to see on how tight and snug they can do a collar elbow. This was a good one. Right at the start, Randy, right good tie-up at the start. Randy, he looks like he tweaked his back. Looked like he tweaked his back a little. But listen, I'm somebody that deals with back pain myself, so I see that, I sympathize. Like, oh man, I hope that's just a work. Thankfully it was, but Cody wound up leading for a good bit. Randy wound up getting busted open in the midst of the match. At one point, Cody did also, but then came the ever-infamous ref bump in the WrestleMania main event. And then, as that happened, then we see Pat McAfee go and run down wearing a neck collar and the old zebra stripe ref shirt. In which case, on an unrelated note, Super Ref Poundwater Dave could have done that run a whole hell of a lot better than Pat McAfee. And anyone that knows Poundwater Dave's story about that gets the joke. Anyways, Randy comes down after Randy popped Cody with a cutter with the RKO. And Pat McAfee comes down. 1, 2, kick out. Next thing you know, Randy just all sorts of mad, livid, winds up RKOing McAfee. Cody then winds up getting up. Swift kick to the Goonies. Crush Rhodes. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Randy takes the title, holds it. Wham! Cracks Cody. Beats him down. Then Cody in the 4-point position. Randy just backs up. And then punt! And yes, Cody took the punt. And if you saw, Cody's eye was super swelled up. He was all sorts of banged up and nasty, just like, oh my God, oh, damn. Now I see why that move was banned for so long. Now, either way, now we move to night 2, which I will say night 2, oh my God, was so much better. Night 2 was a million times better than night 1. So, first match on that one was the ruler, Femi, going up against the Beast, the Conqueror, Brock Lesnar. And now, circling back to what I said about tie-ups, man, Brock and Oba, they did that tie-up. Neither of them gave an inch. I don't know about anyone else, but I heard angels printing money when I saw that tie-up. Like, oh. Yeah. Now, Brock, he was starting to lead at the start. It took a minute because it was test of strength, get a feel out for each other, but Brock started to. And then Oba, he started to take over. Once Oba started taking over, it was no problem. He ended it real quick with the fall from grace for a 1-2-3. After that, Brock just sat in the middle of the ring. Yank, took off his gloves, unlaced his boots, sat them all in the middle of the ring. Thank you all. And then left. Folks, we have officially seen Brock Lesnar retire. Now, say what you want about Brock, whether good or bad, but if you want to focus on the bad, okay. But I'm going to just say this real quick. Whatever you want to talk about personal life-wise outside of his professional life, okay. But what I am saying is, as far as being an athlete goes, hands down, the most decorated combat sport athlete out there in the world. NCAA Division I champion. Multi-time WWE champion. UFC champion. I mean, Brock Brock was not a once in a generation, but he was a literal once in a lifetime type athlete. There's never going to be another one like Brock again in my lifetime. But next up, we had the Intercontinental Championship match. JD McDonagh, Dragon Lee, Rusev, Rey Mysterio, ooh yeah, Javon Evans, and Zero Mero Penta for the six-pack challenge for the Intercontinental title. And again, you could have taken Rey out of this. He was not needed in any way, shape, or form. You could have put El Grande in there. You could have put anyone in there. And just... Either way, as far as this went, it's six-pack ladder match. What do you expect? This car crash mayhem all over from the moment the bell rang. Just non-stop all over. Everyone. Bing, bang, 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 bang. Now, I will say this. Javon Evans, absolute standout in this match. The kid showed he's got it. He gets it. He can handle the pressure of being on the main stage. And he can go. Absolutely loved seeing that out of him. So, hopefully we get something. Hopefully we see him doing more down the line. Penta wound up winning this match. And yeah, so hopefully we see him doing something more with the IC title down the line. Next up, we had Ole Sami Zayn going up against Trick Williams, Sami defending his United States Championship. And, well, I'm going to just say this. The tail on Trick Williams' jacket was only half the size of a CVS receipt. I said what I said. But as far as the match goes, good start with Sami leading. Almost I'm going to say this. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but it almost seems like Sami's almost getting like the mean streak. Like he's on the cusp. Sami's on the cusp of getting ready to go bad guy. He hasn't yet, but he's on the cusp of it, and it's just a matter of when, not if. Now, I'm all for it if he does. It's just, I wanted to make it make sense. Like when he was the conspiracy nut or when he was teaming with Kevin Owens. But hopefully we get something good out of it at the end. Match came to an end when Sami went for the haluva kick and it got countered into a trick shot for the 1-2-3. So your winner and new United States champion, Trick Williams, and he marched all up and down WrestleMania in them lemon pepper steppers of his. So now we come to Dominik Mysterio going up against the Demon Finn Balor in what was announced during the pre-show, and it's now a street fight. Excuse me. Now, Finn, he was leading at the start and dictating the pace, but he was dictating the pace. Now, it's not to say he was taking the whole match. Dom, he was getting his shots in. He did good with it, but it was what it was. Again, it was short, but man, I don't know about anyone else. While this was short, it felt a lot better than the one that we saw than the no sanction match. It was good. Could have been better, but it was good. Finn wound up getting the win, doing the coup de grace through a table, which, again, that table spot brought to you by Slim Jim. Next up, we got women's title match. Jade Cargill going up against Rhea Ripley. Excuse me, sorry. And good start with Jade. She was leading. And good, solid action with the girls. And I would dare say Rhea's probably brought out a really good side on Jade that probably haven't seen too much of. And I get Jade as an attraction character, much like Brock. But trying to think the right way to say this and say it the right way. If we're really looking to see Jade improve and become that it character, that it person, my God, that girl needs more time in the ring. That's all I got to say. Now, match came to an end when Rhea got the win when the baddies, Michin and B-Fab, came out to go and run interference for Jade. Io came out, did a running start down the ramp, and then Shote to Michin, went around, and then Shote to B-Fab, and then got up, did a moonsault, took them out, all the while Jay's like, what? And then it circles back to them. The headbutt, Rhea hits a headbutt, goes for a riptide, gets countered. Jade then goes for Jaded. Rhea slips out of that, scoops her up for a riptide for a 1, 2, 3. So that's it. You're a winner and new WWE Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. So now we come to main event of the night for night 2. It is the OTC, the one, the ultimate needle mover, the conqueror, the greatest of all greats, the goat of all goats, the one and only Roman Reigns. I'm no Paul Heyman with doing that kind of an introduction. I'm sorry. Going up against Charles Montague Punk, the Pepsi King of Chicago, and Punk's entrance was way cool. Aside from having his old AFI theme, AFI music from his indie days, they showed a little line trailing his start from when he started in the indies with his backyard fed to up to Mid-South, IWA Mid-South, then Ring of Honor, and then getting into WWE ECW, and then main roster, and then making the return. Now, for obvious reasons, they're not going to talk about AEW, but we all know that part too. Either way, Punk had the entrance and had the ultimate, had the stare down right there with each other, and then they started going at tit for tat kind of start with both guys going back and forth, something wicked. Fist swinging, both guys going all out on this. It was good. It was good. And probably my biggest takeaway on this, more than anything, there was blood. And not like, hey, somebody got like a little fat lip, but no. Like Punk got legit cut and was bleeding. And I dug it. I thought the match was great. This was probably, dare I say, the best main event Mania match Roman had. You know, I would probably say that. I'm not sure if anyone would agree with me, but if you do, great. If not, okay. But Either way, Roman wound up getting the win, hitting 2 spears back to back. Now, so your winner and new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. Now, following night on Raw, Punk came out earlier in the show admitting, yeah, I lost. But you know what? I stayed ready. So I was able to hold my own. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to continue to stay ready because you never know when another title opportunity is going to come up. And there was some small little interaction with Cody Rhodes, so we may wind up getting a match with Punk and Cody down the road. Fingers crossed. As far as Roman goes, he talks about on how he goes, he's got the Usos with him. You know, I miss this. I miss this. Having you with me. Sharing this. Now, I'm not looking for you to follow me, But what I am is looking for you to understand. I'm in this. I'm in this with you guys. Jim wound up basically saying, now I think I speak for my brother when I say, we got you, and anyone that don't understand us, they're the twos, we the ones. And then they all stand up, put their hands up in acknowledgement, and then Jacob Fatu comes out, does a stare down with Roman, saying, and then looks at Roman, Roman, you must be down here for one of two reasons. You're either here to acknowledge me, Jacob, nah, it ain't for that. Then you must want a shot at this. Yeah. I don't want that title. I need that title. So, Roman versus Jacob Fatu, I am all for. Sign me the hell up for that. And with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. If you're listening to this on audio, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, or not iTunes, God, I'm old, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. We are trying to build up the audio platform. Thank you to contributors show LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool ass cats right here on that Twitter. DSB_IV, main event _net, the main event wrestling network account. Sergeant Curry Pants 3 Count Thursday, D Dryer 1986. I am Tim Vicious out there on all the socials. And folks, like I always tell you, you love me, great. And if you hate me, well, shut up and sit down. Fuck yes.